Okay, I'm back and just getting through the setup here. Stopping in again, thank you as always. So today I'm going to get into the classic sci-fi movie Halloween, but the 2007 iteration of this movie. And this is, if you know your sci-fi and your horror, this is Rob Zombie's soiree into directing this series. And overall, I think he did a really good job. So I kind of want to talk about, this aspect, like what Rob Zombie's iteration really meant, because it changed a lot. Like, first of all, if you're familiar with this story, you're familiar with Michael Myers, and there's a lot of things that you're going to get used to, right off the bat. So right off the bat, this is a very different iteration of Michael Myers. Right off the bat, this is really less of a supernatural flick and more of a family trauma, right? We're going to see young Michael Myers as he's developing. And it ain't good. Like, none of this is good. This is all showing a conflict right off the bat. Like, what he says from the beginning is he is a human. He's not a boogeyman. He is purely evil. Like, the previous, iterations of this character really presented by John Carpenter. And John Carpenter presented him as just this walking nightmare. Well, Rob Zombie says, we're going to take all that out. We're going to take the supernatural component out of it, and we're going to make this more like this is a kid who you see is playing with animals. So he has a penchant for harming animals, and I think young Michael at this time must be about 10 or 11 years old. So he's a young boy, and he's seen a lot. Like, he's in this completely destructive home. And one of the things I want to look at is, like, you got to look at Haddonfield right off the bat. This rendition of the city is drastically different, and it's dirty, it's grimy. Like, if you go back and you watch the OG, the one with Jamie Lee Curtis, Haddonfield is very, like, it's very clean. It really reflects small town America. This new Haddonfield is grimy. It's dirtier. The people are a little bit more insidious. Jamie Lee Curtis's character, this was like the pinnacle of like small town girl, right? They were high on innocence, right? They weren't like way out there. It like these, little risque, but nothing like what we see in this new one. In this one, we go to Michael Myers' home. And remember, they're brother and sister, so this is where she comes from. So when we talk about Laurie Strode, this is also the genesis of Laurie Strode's life. And this becomes front and center. This is the mom right here. So we get a chance to see like what type of house they're living in, and it ain't good. Like, it's not good at all. You've got the mom, you have his sister, who is a little bit promiscuous, right? And this is going to be a problem, and we're going to talk about the sister. But we do see this main character here. This is another main character that we have to get into, right? This is the stepdad character. This may be Michael's actual biological dad. It isn't revealed in here strongly, but this guy is, plays a paraplegic who drinks too much. He's clearly the stepdad. He makes some sexual comments about the sister, who's a teenager. She's older than Michael at this point. She's probably about 15, 16 years old. So we're going to see a little bit playing to her, because she catches the wrath too, right? She catches the wrath from Michael as well. And we know what? Like, for whatever it is, what stays consistent with Michael is he does not like promiscuity, right? We're not going to say hoes. He doesn't like chicks that are promiscuous. But this is his background. So you can see it's just as jacked up. Like, you can get a good look at the city. Like, it's messed up here. It's not nice and pristine if we had comparisons to the previous. So this is what he's dealing with, right? So you got the alcohol abuse. You got the drunk dad. You got him running around like already with the mask on. So this kid's showing you some major issues in terms of like where is mental health. So we start to see a lot of this out of Michael Myers already off the bat. So this is really getting to the foundation. And I feel like it was really good, really good in that regard. So we're seeing him, and we could see a little bit like this is how they growing up, right? Like, there's a sister, and breakfast time is raw because everybody's fighting with each other. They're scrapping. You can see, you see this line right here. Man, that little bee got herself a nice little dumper. This is what the stepdad is saying in regard to the sister. So the sister's here. The sister's a teenage girl. The mother dresses a little provocatively, and so does the sister, right? So this is what Michael's growing up in. Now, and interesting, it does give us Laurie Strode as well. Laurie will be his sister, character made more famous by Jamie Lee Curtis. And this is baby Lori, right? So she's seeing this the entire time. This is the household that Lori's growing up in, and this is the household that Michael's growing up in, right? And they're both seeing a lot of language, a lot of everything that kids shouldn't see. So right, this establishes like where the household is, and it doesn't get any better for Michael. So early on, like Michael's getting it, like, and you can see this is Michael right here, man. Right, if it's my son and you're walking around with a mask on and we're not doing Halloween at the very moment, it's an issue. And again, it goes to this clown symbolism. You know, he kind of teases the boy. He's already like at home. This is at the crib. You're already kind of catching it, right? That the stepdad's calling him gay. The stepdad's pointing him out. And so what really Rob Zombie's showing is that these monsters aren't just born. These are marinated. This is the marination of a true killer and how he gets to this point. And then he goes to school. And he's catching it from the bullies too. So this kid's getting it at all angles here, right? Right, like because of his mom's promiscuity, his sister's promiscuity, like people were teasing him about it. So he's catching, like his mom has a little bit of a rep, sister's starting to get a little rep. So this is coming down on him, and we'll see why some of the things they're going on. Like his mom works at, at this lounge bar, right? And so this is his shame. So you start off a lot of shame around his personal upbringing, particularly around his mother. And this is going to be all bad business down the road. So you can see like they really go into detail of creating every like nightmarish condition for young Michael to grow up in, right? This is what Homeboy's getting right now. It's a full dose of this. No respect at home. Obviously, you're being bullied and all this stuff at school, right? So this is what we got going on. But this Michael ain't no punk, man. Like they already there's already some signs. Like this is the school administrator, and they're starting to see some signs in it. So we get a lot more like who is Michael Myers in this, and I'm gonna go through specifically what the big changes are. And then we're going to get to see like the full-grown Michael Myers is just a beast. But let's get to this. So we're already starting to see some behavioral problems right here. And this is not going to get any better. Now we see this kid getting bullied. Like the bullied scene leads to this. But there's this 10-year-old Michael. He ain't playing this nonsense, man. He is not having it. In true Michael Myers fashion, he rises up, man. He's like, I'm not having it. Here's him outside. Now you're outside the house with the mask on. So we know it's a problem here. Something really not right going on with this kid. But I will tell you what is right about this kid is getting his revenge on. So you see, this is the bully from earlier. He had jumped him in the bathroom with a couple of dudes. Michael Myers is already fighting back. Now at this point, he is a big kid, but he's younger than these guys. So this is his first murder right here. I think it's very important to see it because he gets his kid down, quickly overpowers him, right? Just the brute strength. This will be another aspect of Michael. He is not as supernatural as we're used to, but he is far more physical, right? This is like the bull, and he's just getting started. So you can see him, not only is he getting his revenge on against this dude, but he's taking a little bit of pride and joy, like he's watching. So we start to see him start to develop this detachment, and we really see this kid not have any real like strong attachments in any of his emotion. He rarely shows any emotion at all. So this is what sets it off, right? So now he understands killing. Now, here we go, right? Here we go again. It's going to be this. He's going to be habitually stepping over the line. So once he gets his bloodlust up, once he's like, yeah, I can do this, and he's feeling confident, and he starts feeling power, what does he do? Comes back, and stepdad, now you about to get it. You see him whipping out the tape, right? This is all for stepdad, who's already a paraplegic, but you already you disrespect the mom, you disrespect the sister. He likes none of this stuff. So, of course, the next setup is, bam, it gets Insidious. This is, again, a young child. He's got Step Pop strapped up here. Really, he's about to handle this business. He's about to put in this work. You've been disrespected long enough. So you can imagine you wake up and you see this looking down at you, man. That's the image right there. Like, this is horror. This, again, is a child. This is true horror right here. Michael Myers staring down at this. This is his second victim. This is the first time, though, where I ever got to prepare for a takedown of somebody. Okay, so this is how it goes down, and the stepdad immediately loses his life. So now he's kind of understanding that he can kind of arrange and control what's going on in his life. This is his first time getting some get back, right? Now, of course, we got another problem because the sister is also in the house, and the sister is promiscuous as hell, which also he doesn't like. So after this scene, there's a guy who's in the house. They don't care whether the father's there. They're having sex. They're not at all worried about the noise because that's what it is in the Michael Myers house, right? Like, it's the house you come over and smash the daughter while the dad's sitting right there. He doesn't care. The dad would probably try to smash himself. So we see the insidiousness of the home. And then this portrayal of the sister. Again, she's probably about a 16-year-old girl. This is post-coitus. Now, again, your mom's working at the strip club right now, at work. Then in the house, your sister's like bringing guys over. So he's not having this at all. And he would see all this. So this is the guy, like, the guy has enough nonsense in him that goes and makes sandwiches after smashing. And Michael's like, I'm watching this the entire time. It's not going down that way, man. It's not happening this way. So Michael, again, this rings up kill number 3, which is the brother, right? Which is the boyfriend. And the sister would make it, round it up to kill number 4 at this point. So finally they send the popos out and they gaffle him up. So now we see him being institutionalized. So again, this is a different Michael Myers. And this is where Laurie's character, gets taken away, right? She goes to foster. The whole family's dead. The mom's going to come home. And the only one that's still alive is Michael. Now, per the myth, and we'll get into the myth, is that he was supposed to kill the entire family, and this will be the genesis of why he will be back later. But things are changing under the Rob Zombie regime. So he goes in, and now, this is 15 years later where they pick up, and he's just this monster of a guy. Like, the actor that plays him is just absolutely just a bulk. This is just way more bulk than we've ever seen out of Michael Myers. So literally physically imposing size, and you can see, if we can get a good shot of him walking down, you can just kind of see like the size of this guy. He's truly a large guy, right? And this is an issue now. This is an issue. He's locked up. He doesn't have any family around him. His mom's coming to visit him, sporadically. Now, the doctor who is treating him, he also takes on a different role. And in this one, he is far more of a celebrity kind of doctor. He's not, he's really not caring about Michael's true care in any way. Or at least, like, not to the degree that you would want. So the doctor character becomes a lot more insidious in that regard as well. And we see a big change in how the care for Michael is, where it really, really is not there at all. So now he's this full adult, and even in custody, we're starting to see him develop. And one of the key things is we see this character that Danny Trejo, like film legend Danny Trejo, right, who befriends Michael. So over the course of like this 15 years, he's very respectful. He sees him on a daily basis. They kind of guide him around. He's always talking to him, about like how to survive in there. It's very nice to this guy. Doesn't matter, because when the killing starts, it doesn't matter at all. And what these two guys do, this other guard comes in there and he's like, we want to torture you. I don't know why you would see someone that's like 6'7", 260 and be like, yeah, I'm going to torture you. So what this guy does, this is a crazy scene. I'm going to tell you guys right now, there's a whole rape scene that takes place here in the movie, inside of Michael's cell, right? So he brings a girl on there, and they sexually assault this girl live and direct. And Michael sees this stuff, and he doesn't like it, right? So Michael does strike back, and he goes on a killing spree and kills, all the, the guys who are perpetrating this crime. And now he also kills his one friend. So what this says about him psychologically is that there is no good that you can do. It doesn't matter how you treat him. He doesn't have the ability to form any type of bond with anyone. So, mom, brother, like, he saves Laurie only to want to kill her later. So he's going to spend the rest of this movie starting his hunt of Laurie Shroud, right? And it becomes like quite insidious because she's at this time where he comes back, now she's about 16, 17 years old. And he just spends the rest of the film like after her. And it creates, and you see, like, she gets a lot. Obviously, she has to go through it, right? This is 17-year-old Laurie, wants the baby, and he's in full pursuit of her. Now, let me tell you what's different about this from every other rendition of the film. Now, he is more violent. He is more physical. He does not look cool. He's a little slower, a little bit grimier. This is a kid who was killing animals, who grows up to be an adult and kind of an animal himself. But what we give up is all the, the supernatural effect. The original story behind this character was that there was the Cult of Thorn. And the Cult of Thorn required a sacrifice, right? So that you could keep peace in the town. So he becomes that, and under this auspice of the cult of Thorn, he has to kill the whole family. This is the covenant that they make, right? But this also explains all of Michael Myers' supernatural abilities. This is why he can get shot 187 times and it doesn't do anything. This is why you could stab him and nothing's going to happen. This is all that. So Rob Zombie makes a decision to dispense with all the supernatural element, but he doesn't want to give up on Michael's abilities. So while it's no longer a curse, and it's no longer just like not random. Like now he's more of a random killer, kill everybody. Whereas previously there was a choice, right? Or there was something there. But he's like, there's no horror. This is about broken homes, which I'm fine with. It creates a different kind of killer, but it's not like a mythic type of killer in any way. He's a different kind of killer. Now, okay, being 6'7", 260 doesn't mean you can take, multiple guns. Like, yeah, you can. I mean, depending on the caliber and all that. But eventually you're going to have to go to the doctor. You're going to have internal bleeding and all that. So his derailing away from that supernatural effect does have ramifications that I feel like story-wise he doesn't live up to. That's really the whole problem with it. If you want him to be this physical machine, this unstoppable killer, I think he needs the supernatural aspect. But in this case, he does represent, I think, a little more grounded approach, which I think makes a really, really good film. So overall, it's still a really good film. You have the doctor who's like, still, glomming on. He's writing a book. This is all about books, so it is a little more modern culture in that. And the doctor deserves some blame for what goes on. Like he is instrumental in not handling. Like the mom is also there, so the mother accountability is stark. Outside influences like the guards. All this stuff really matters in shaping this killer. And this is how this guy goes out. At the end of it, they do bring him down with gunfire again because he's not supernatural. And there's never a follow-up on this. But a great rendition for a one-off of a film that shows a different side of Michael Myers. I definitely enjoyed it. It was gritty. It was grimy. Lacks a supernatural component, but still kind of benefits from like the overall nuance of who Michael Myers is. But anyway, those are my thoughts. I'm just up early, getting a nice little stream in for you early morning risers, probably on your way to the grind. As always, if you appreciate these breakdowns, I get a little more detail into this character and some of the places that he's at, especially that hospital. And if you want to check him out, I've probably got some content loaded up in the gallery of videos already. But as always, hit that like and subscribe. If you enjoy my content, make sure you check me out. I'll be doing some deeper breakdowns. And always hit me up with your requests. Tell me what you guys are